Ayo, Ashleigh Monet here, back with another installment of Corrupt Coloring. You guys love this series, and I love that because I love it too. I could totally get down on turning this into regular content for my channel. And the best part there is no shortage of cute coloring books out there in the world for me to corrupt. I actually did recently go through and bought a whole bunch. But while I wait for those to arrive, I might as well do one more round in my YouTube bestie Creative Paula's book, Loved. I definitely had some untapped ideas for that one from the last episode. But yeah, enough of me talking. Let's jump right in and see what I can corrupt. Alrighty, as always, we begin with a page that we will just color normally as a warm-up. Keep it clean and wholesome. I'm digging this little bear working a smile stand, giving them away for free. Normally, I would just go in and start the color, but I wanted to add some line work to this one. For example, they're giving away smiles, but nobody's smiling. That simply will not do. Even the flowers are smiling now. Okay, that's great. Now on to color. I started with some gray tones for everything that's going to end up white. The paper sign, the flower pot, and the flower petals. I want those to be daisies because I can't imagine a more cheerful flower. Thinking about colors for the hearts and the sign font, I had some ideas, but I just couldn't shake the voice in my head that was saying, red, red, make them red. I decided not to fight the instinct, although I think that immediately gave the page this Valentine's Day vibe. Normally, I'm inclined to color animals a color that you would actually find them in nature, and I wanted brown for him, but I also knew that the wood of the stand was going to be brown. So I said, okay, let's get crazy. Roll with that V-Day vibe and make him a sweet little pink bear. Oh, I love it. Next for the brown of the wood, and oh boy, there was a lot of it. I do eventually want to do a wood grain pattern, but first I want all of that base brown to dry. So I shifted over to the background and just made a sunny blue sky. Oh, and how did I forget about the grass? Whoopsie. But okay, now base colors are dry and we can go through and add some shading, some definition. And oh my, that wood grain. What a pain in the badonkadonk that was. But I think it made it look so good. A few finishing touches left, like I wanted to add a little red to the paper sign, some juicy highlights, some detail in the grass. And that was it. This was a good page to start with. I think it came out absolutely adorable as the book intended for it to be. I like it. I had fun. I feel nice and warmed up. But alas, the time has come to creepify. Now to find a suitable first page to defile. It's gonna be this one. This sweet little kitty home chef baking cookies. The corruption on this one will be subtle because it was screaming something to me exactly as it was, and that is poison. There are these little shakers off to the side. Presumably they're supposed to be spices and or sprinkles for the cookies. But what if this little kitty is a fed-up housewife? Her husband is awful to her, and she has finally decided to exact some justice and end him. Did you know that statistically a woman's method of murder is most often poisoning? So in my head, I pictured these little bottles as a collection of poisons. But a big one was missing from the bunch, so I added in the jug. This one is one of the more readily available poisons, ethylene glycol, aka antifreeze. But this little lady is into overkill and has even more in store for the hubs. A little arsenic, a fatal dose of morphine, and you know, for a holistic cherry on top of the death sundae, how about a little belladonna? She's getting the job done for sure. Now you might be wondering, whatever did her husband do to deserve such a fate? I'll add a little dialogue and you'll see a bit more of his character, but first I wanted to color in the background. I wanted to do a pale yellow, but unexpectedly my marker ran out before I could finish, so I had to switch to a darker one and it looked so bad. I tried to make it look like it was deliberate, but not convinced, but at least it's just the background. Now to break out the acrylic markers for those conversation bubbles. And also to disguise the lines of this antifreeze jug. And thanks to editing magic, you don't have to literally sit and watch paint dry. So yay, now we can get to the dialogue.
Beatrice, how long does it take to make some damn cookies?
Ooh-wee, the audacity. This guy's a turd.
Almost done, Edgar. It won't be long now.
No, it won't be long now. All right, let's start coloring Beatrice. I feel like the cats that cause the most mischief are always orange, so I'm going that route for her. And to complement that, she'll be dressed in blue. I definitely wanted her to be wearing a gingham print apron. That was really the only artistic vision I had. The rest, what can I say? I was just winging it. Added a little red frosting till death on the cookies. Rather fitting, don't you think? And then, it's juicy highlight time. And that's it for little Beatrice and her soon-to-be-gone no-good husband Edgar. I love this page, and like I said, there was minimal changes that needed to be made to turn it into what it is. I sure do like that part. Okay, one down. Let's see what's next. Ah, yes, the jar of hearts. This little bear is collecting a whole lot of love, but my twisted mind when I see this, well, it goes into a scene in Saw 3 where the detective was stuck in one of the traps, and to get the key to freedom, she had to fish it out of a jar full of acid. Ugh, totally brutal. But I'm not doing exactly that. That's just the inspiration. This bear has his own jar of acid, and he uses it to dispose of body parts. Here he's going to be dipping a severed foot in, and it'll be bubbling and dissolving the flesh away from the bones. Oh, also I wanted to turn this bear into a panda for no real reason other than that I wanted to. Nuff said. And all of these hearts in the jar can be transformed into bone remnants or little bits of flesh that are still being dissolved. I know. Right now it looks like a damn mess. Sometimes when you're modifying line work like this, you really just have to trust the process and try not to get too hung up on the science behind it all. Like, is there really an acid that burns through flesh but not bone? I have no freaking idea. Do I have a tooth in this jar that's nearly the same size as the foot? Yes, I do. Let's not hold anything under the microscope here. We're just having fun. Anyways, for all of this stuff surrounding the jar, I really had to get creative and just cover. I decided to add a severed hand here in the corner, to play off the severed foot. Also a little circular saw blade. I mean, something had to sever these parts. And then one of the easiest items to cover with, I just added a couple of big black trash bags behind it all. Presumably now these are also filled with parts. On the other side, we'll do a handsaw and more trash bags. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now let's color and watch it all come together. And another one bites the dust. I love it so much, even though I was definitely skeptical during the line work stage of the corrupting. Things got scary for a minute there, but it turned out great and has that Saw vibe I was trying to channel. Okay, let's go for one more. I'm feeling this one. Two little buddies taking a Polaroid selfie together, surrounded by flowers and hearts and just all of the love. Well, not for long. The Polaroid concept made me think of like the mob movies where somebody is hired to kill someone else, and to show that the job was done, the killer has to send whoever hired him a photo of the corpse as proof. So I'm starting with the photo. Here the cat is the hitman and the mushroom is the hit. The cat will be holding up the severed mushroom head for the photo. Quite grisly, if I do say so myself. And now to cover up all of the sweetness happening here. On this side, I want to add a weapon, and for whatever reason, rather than a classic knife, my brain was telling me this weapon needed to be a box cutter. And on this side, we'll just do a bloody glove, I guess. I've got nothing. A couple of little camera details, and we can jump into the coloring. I decided to do a sweet pink little background, but had an issue that I've never experienced before where the alcohol marker smudged the acrylic marker. Not sure if I've just never noticed it doing that before, and I did this time because it was black that smudged all into my light dainty pink. I don't know, but that sucked. Now these cameras come in a ton of fun colors, but I wanted to do a very aqua minty green. I feel like it's such a pretty color and I rarely get to use it. And now it's time for blood. I actually started these blood splats using a Posca because I have not used my Poscas at all since getting my Artex markers. And I thought, I kind of need to use them before they dry out, but ugh. They were chewing up that paper and barely covering the line work. Like, bye, so long Posca, back to Artex. Just a few juicy highlights and voila! This one was fun. I enjoyed getting extra bloody with it. That poor little mushroom though, like surely he didn't deserve that. Maybe this cat is in business with the bunny mafia. But with those done, we can do a little recap flip through before and after thing. Oh, and I thought it would be super fun to show you guys how creative Paula did these same pages herself, only obviously less corrupt. That's it for today. I had a lot of fun with these ones, and I simply cannot wait to do another episode of this. I think I'll try to work in at least one a month. So I've promised to create this books a month, one corrupt coloring per month, which leaves one random video for whatever I so choose. I like that. I think I can get behind that schedule. And I also might start wearing my hair more like this. You guys were loving it the last video, which I was shook. It was honestly like zero effort on my part. This is my hair when it's like washed and brushed. That's it. So if you like it, I love it, and I will do that more. Instead of spending an hour and a half straightening it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for spending this time with me, and until next time, goodbye.